3300 BCE. This marked the beginning of the Indian civilization, the very first civilization in South Asia, and the very third civilization which existed in the world after Mesopotamia and Egypt. One day, in 1875, a British archaeologist named Alexander Cunningham was busy mining an area near Mehrgarh in present-day Pakistan. La 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 la, what a fine day here in this stupid country. Let's see what we What's this? This is something new. Excuse me? This is something I haven't seen in a while. Is this what I think it is? It's not like average coin. At least it's not on this normal day. Must be a coin. So the coin discovered was basically a coin which just depicted a bowl in it. But this thing wasn't really a coin. This was an ancient seal. Now what's a seal? A trading unit, which resembles a coin or something square shaped. Now this seal didn't really have a bowl. It looked more like a oversized goat than a bowl, but yes, this was used. Alparslan kolomshi nantada esh karuntovo. Da chatkedo nikaida. Em tabakum?
खाल विदेशमोदन परन्तु अहं वसुता पतवत् न प्रश्नम्.
So now as you can see, that was sort of how and trading it actually happened between an Indus, a woman of this valley, and a man of Sumer, which is a city in Mesopotamia. Now, this valley was connected to a ginormous river. Take this river, for example. This represents the great Indus River, present in the border of India and Pakistan. Now, there was another river, yes. It was called Saraswati. And this river is considered extinct because it dried up. For example, this sort of valley was the Saraswati River. Ignore this tiny little patch of water. Ignore these tiny little patches of water too. This valley would be the Saraswati Valley. I mean the river. But now it's just dry. Ignore these water patches. Just ignore the water patches. This would be the Saraswati River. But why is it so dry? Well, it went extinct. It dried up, and that was probably one of the few reasons the civilization fell. Now, the civilization had two major cities, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Both were found in Pakistan in the 1920s by these two gentlemen, who were Indian, yes. The last guy, Cunningham, he was a Brit. Take a look at this. This was basically a drainage system in the valley. Now, these drainages would be pretty much present near the river. Yes, I didn't create it right next to the river, but the valleys would be very much present right next to the river. Now, these drainage systems would hold up any rain that would fall over here, and they would just pass it on to the river. So, you might say, what the heck? This civilization started in 3300 BC. How could this have such modern-style drainage systems? Thing is, my friends, that is the power of an ancient brain. That is the power not even we have sometimes, and those guys had it. That's pretty cool. Now, if we continue through this drainage system, we can find something even better. For example, this. What's this? A bunch of crates? Well, the folks in the Indus Valley don't really have crates, they have barrels. But let's imagine they had a storage system right under this cave thing. This was a granary. This is where they store all of their grains. Now, these crates are empty. For example, this chunk of sand is a grain. they stored it in this valley. I mean, in this granary, so that the folks could later on just go in here. If there's a food shortage, just go in here, just grab something to eat, and just head back, and just wait and hope till the shortage goes away. So there's another theory for the fall of civilization, is that maybe maybe the Saraswati River drying up, maybe they couldn't harness the Indus that much, because I guess it was linked to the Saraswati. And since it was linked to the Saraswati, they just went off to the granaries and ate as much as they could, until the granaries dried up and there was nothing left. As you can see, these crates are all empty. Maybe this is what the folks saw, and they starved. Another theory is that they were attacked. They were attacked by a group which British historians have called the Aryans. Now, there was a certain time in history where a British explorer found what seemed to be bones lying in the valley. He drew the arrow, but yeah, he found bones lying there. Maybe he thought, bones? It's weird. How could there be bones lying here? Then he probably thought, maybe the civilization was attacked. Maybe they were all slaughtered, and these are the remains of one of the folks of the civilization. But just 2 pieces of bone. How could these 2 pieces of bone mean an entire flippin' massacre? This is kind of stupid. So not a lot of people believe this. My theory is that this civilization got extinguished was because of starvation theory. The Saraswati dried up and they starved. But then a new class of people arrived. They settled more and more towards eastern India, and they began a second civilization, which basically founded what religion, well, we believe, the folks of India believe today, with the main religion, and it also founded what basically is the cradle of Indian civilization. It wasn't Indus Valley. Indus Valley may be the father of Indian civilization. The cradle, that would be another civilization. We're just going to talk about in another video. So, civilization fell. All things go down as one, don't they? So, Indian civilization. It may have been through starvation, or maybe flood, or maybe invaders indeed. But whenever a sun sets and a new sun rises, so that's sun's legacy. Here's what I mean just now. But the sons and daughters of Indus Valley, they really exist. Maybe I shouldn't have chosen them to exist, to succeed in civilization and vision. Part 2 coming soon. The Vedic